Hello and welcome to Scholarship Essay Writing 101. Thank you for joining us this evening. We have prepared a scholarship workshop for you that we hope you will find beneficial. We will go over, this is our agenda for the night. We will introduce you to the scholarship essay coaches in Grand Prairie ISD. They have been working with us since 2018. We will go over the scholarship application process. The essay coaches will share essay writing tips, and we will have a time for Q&A at the end. So the GPISD essay writing coaches are here to collaborate with students and help them create award-winning essays for college admission and scholarship applications. The essay coaches have three main options for students to choose from: the one-on-one virtual essay coaching, the one-on-one in-person essay coaching, and the essay feedback. We have with us today Miss Beulah McDonald, who is the scholarship essay coach at Grand Prairie High School. We also have Miss Kim Millender, who is the scholarship essay coach at Dubisky Career High School. Mr. Eric Hudak, who is also a scholarship essay coach at Dubisky Career High School. We have with us tonight Allison Lynch, who is a scholarship essay coach at South Grand Prairie. And we have Miss Elizabeth Dodd, who is also a scholarship essay coach at South Grand Prairie High School. So we will briefly cover the scholarship process for our students. We encourage our students starting in the 10th grade to start researching, organizing, applying, and following up with scholarships. Students need to find scholarships that fit. They need to pay very, very close attention to the scholarship requirements and apply for all scholarships that they meet the minimum requirements for. We encourage students to start creating their scholarship portfolio as a sophomore, which includes their resume, their transcript, a scholarship essay, recommendation letters, and community service hour log. These particular documents will come in handy when it's a time to apply for scholarships. The scholarship application timeline, we encourage students to go ahead, especially the class of 2021 and the class of 2022, excuse me. We encourage them to go ahead and request letters of recommendation if they didn't request the letters during their junior year. We encourage them to complete their scholarship portfolio by November the 1st in order to be prepared to apply for scholarships when they receive their winter break scholarship packets on November the 19th. Winter break scholarship packets will be available online and in the College and Career Center on your student's campus. And so now we will have our essay coaches give us some essay writing tips. And so we will start with Miss Elizabeth Dodd. She will go over scholarship essay writing tips for us tonight.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Elizabeth Dodd, and I'm one of the scholarship coaches at South Grand Prairie High School. Thank you for joining us this evening. I'm going to start by giving you some kind of general writing tips for when you are starting out your scholarship essays. And the first thing is that the scholarship essay is a really important part of your overall application to a college. There are all kinds of scholarships available. There are scholarships for specific colleges and specific college programs. And there's also scholarships that are for outside scholarships available, from local organizations. when you're writing an essay, think of it as part of an interview. You have a lot of unique experiences and unique stories to tell. So consider those things when you're trying to come up with topics. And coming up with a topic is something that a lot of students struggle with, and it's something that the essay coaches are really practiced at helping students through. So don't let writer's block stop you from coming up with an essay. Okay, make the essay personal and be very specific in your details, and do stay positive. Sometimes when students write essays, they talk about struggles they've been through, and that's fantastic. You can always talk about things you've been through. It shows character. However, try and keep the overall tone of your essay very positive, because this is a first impression. When the readers are reading your essays, they're getting a sense of who you are as a person, and they can tell a lot just simply through your writing. So do be careful of that. Again, these are things that if you go to a scholarship coach and you bring your essay, these are things that we help point out, because sometimes you may not be aware of it. Also, do express that that you do need financial help. It's okay. There are ways to do that that are subtle, that are not so, I guess, needy in a way. You do need to express the reason that you're applying for the scholarship and why you're the best candidate for that scholarship. Also, it's okay to brag about yourself a little bit. These essays, it's good to detail your accomplishments, and you're really trying to set yourself apart from all of the other essays that you may be, all of the other essays that the readers are reading. Keep in mind that when you apply for scholarships, these readers are often reading many, many other scholarship essays, and you need to find a way to stand out and be unique and tell your unique story. So again, these are all things that scholarship coaches can help you with, and don't be intimidated by any of this process from beginning to end. We help you through all of that, okay? And of course, at the end of all of this, we'll be here to answer any questions that you may have. So going on and speaking about the next part of writing a scholarship essay is Miss Allison Lynch, who is also a coach with South Grand Prairie High School.
Good evening, y'all. It is so wonderful to have y'all.
Hold on.
Hi. I'm going to talk to you about how to start your essay, because I know that introductions is something that so many of us struggle with. I personally, if someone will write the first paragraph of an essay for me, I can continue the next 23 pages, but otherwise I will sit there and stare at that blank piece of paper for so long. So you need to begin with a strong introduction that draws in the reader's attention. We call it a hook for a reason. You want to grab their attention. Okay, so we don't want to do, I'm going to tell you about, have you ever thought about, Webster's defines success as, we've all heard that a million times, and so have these scholarship readers. So you want to stand out right away. Right. So starting with a shocking piece of dialogue, or starting, setting the scene, a song lyric, a quote. There's so many great ways that you can hook your reader right at the beginning. Okay. Then you want to tell briefly about yourself, your academic and career goals, as well as state the steps you have done for the pursuit of your goals. Okay. Don't turn it into a resume, because we already have a resume as part of our portfolio, and they will also have your transcript, which often reads like a resume at times as well. So your thesis is going to be your last sentence of your introduction. You should state firmly your opinion that you deserve to win the scholarship, and support it by mentioning why you should be considered as the candidate to win. Okay, brag about yourself. Okay. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else is going to. So this is your time to lay it all on the line. So state your reasons that show obstacles, financial need, your motivations, commitments, and achievements, and how the scholarship will encourage you in your further achievements. You want to leave no doubt in their mind that you are the right person for this scholarship and you are going to do great things with it. If they were to come check in on you in a year, 5 years, 10 years, you have used that money they gave you to make the world a better place. Okay, so now I'm going to pass it on to Miss McDonald.
Hello, everyone. So I'm going to focus on the body of your scholarship essay, and this is your opportunity to give your reader proof of why you are the candidate to give this scholarship to. And so this is where you develop your thesis statement. And something I always tell the students that I work with, you want to really focus on a slice of life. So if your life was a pizza, you want to focus in on one slice of that pizza, and you want to use that and go into as much detail as possible to really show them why you are the person that deserves this. You want to really show your personality. And so you want to focus in on that moment in the body of your essay, and then follow it up with information that's explaining why this moment in your life that you focus on in the body of your essay, why it's significant, why it's important, and why it's also proof that you deserve this scholarship. Something else I tell my students to try to include, because remember, you want the people who are making decisions about if you're going to get this scholarship, you want them to leave reading your essay knowing a little bit more about your personality. Because as Allison said, this is not a resume, but this is your opportunity to show them who you are and to let them see your personality. So you want to focus on including as much detail, as much description, and as much dialogue as possible to really show them and give them proof that, you know, you are perfect for this and that you really deserve this scholarship. So if you need assistance with this, any of us are available to help. And this is really the meat of your essay. So this is where most students need the most support. And so any of us, we are willing to support you in creating a body of your essay that really emphasizes this. So I'm going to turn it over now to Mrs. Milner, and she's going to talk about the conclusion of your essay.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. I want to make sure that you understand that the conclusion of your essay is very similar. It's very similar to any essay, where that conclusion is almost like a call to action or an iteration of that introduction. So the very things that you talked about in your introduction, you need to bring back up. You need to bring those things back up in your conclusion, because it is, in essence, an iteration and a call to action. So you want them to follow up. So you need to confirm, once again, your opinion that you deserve it. So that's where you once again brag about yourself. You have to once again mention who you are, why you're doing this. And then you have to be as I believe it was Miss McDonald, I apologize. She said, or Miss Dodd, that you have to be positive. This is where you are finishing out that positivity. You are letting them know that you are a perfect person. You are a perfect candidate for this particular scholarship. If it's with you, if it's with what they're in line with, you just have to end it, but end it on such a note that leaves no question whatsoever in their mind as to who they are going to give the scholarship to. Okay, so once again, remember, you have to reiterate what was said. You have to iterate what was said in the introduction, brag about yourself, be positive, and almost give them a call to action. Now that you're done, now that we've done, you've made this decision, guys, choose me. Okay, and that is how you finish off. Thank you.
Thank you.
Some really great tips about how to write that scholarship essay, write that award-winning essay. we just want to go over some pointers about the follow through. Every scholarship application you complete uh, is important because it's a numbers game. Uh, it takes time and it takes luck. So we want to encourage you to apply for as many scholarships as you can find. Uh, 25% of students never even apply for financial aid. October 1st will be the opening day for the FAFSA applications. Every campus will host FAFSA workshops, and we encourage you to connect with the College and Career Center on your campus. We also encourage you to pay close attention to the details. Um, it's the details of the scholarship application. Like when you're writing that essay, make sure that you answer the prompt. We want to hear about all the wonderful things that you've done, but we also want to make sure that you answer that prompt. And experts say after you complete 5 complete scholarship applications, it gets easier. It becomes easier for you to go through and complete scholarships. The main thing is to set up your 5 scholarship applications early so you can get through that process, so you can gain that confidence, so you can apply to more scholarships. And be sure you do not miss the deadline, because the scholarship partners, they're not like your high school teachers that will give you a second chance or allow you to turn it in late. If that window closes, you miss that opportunity. And so just a little advice from our scholarship essay coaches, since we have them here. We want to encourage all students to use a professional email address. We want to ask that all students clean up the content of all social media sites that they are part of. Remove any inappropriate or immature material, even if it's not on your page. If it's somebody else's page that tagged you as a part of it, just go ahead and delete it, because scholarship partners and college admission counselors are going out to your social media pages and looking at them to make sure that you will represent their organization well. I want to open it up to our scholarship essay coaches to see if anyone else has any advice they would like to share.
So I'll say for those of you who are applying for scholarships, my biggest thing is don't be afraid to fail, because through failure, you will eventually find success. And so what that means is apply for as many scholarships as you can apply for. And if you fail, use it as a learning opportunity, use it as a motivator, because the more you apply, the better you're going to get at applying and writing these scholarship essays, and you'll eventually reach success. So do not fear failure.
My advice would be to dedicate time to it each week. So find an hour a week, an hour every other week. If you know you have an off period, if you know, Saturday afternoons, just set aside a dedicated time and work the system. Okay. Apply for everything that is available. There are so many scholarships out there that no one even applies for, or that only have 4 applicants. So you have really good odds of earning those scholarships. So if you actually dedicate the time and don't wait until the night before it's due to, go, oh, I think I want to apply for that scholarship. It's due in 6 hours. What do I need to do? If you plan ahead and make it a part of your weekly routine, is applying for a scholarship, talking to a coach, doing things like that, then you are more likely to be successful.
Okay, well, my suggestion for everyone would be following along with Ms. Lynch and Ms. McDonald. It will be following along with the idea of applying. You guys, if you don't apply, you absolutely are not going to get the scholarship, plain and simple. You have no option. It's not going to happen. But if you do apply and you don't get it, that's fine. You just got some practice in for the next one. But everyone that you do not apply for are absolutely scholarships that you will not win. So you should do a lot better than that. Go ahead and apply for all that you can. And that's my suggestion.
And I'll jump in right here. Along the lines of time, really dedicate yourself to crafting a good scholarship essay. We're here to help you with that, but I wanted to give the example. A few years ago, I worked with a student and she wrote a phenomenal essay. And she wrote an essay that was incredibly long. It was 3 to 5 pages. And the reason I said 3 to 5 pages is that as we worked on this essay, we must have put 10 to 15 hours of work into this thing. What we did with it was she found lots of different scholarships, and for each scholarship we were able to cut and paste and reorganize what she had already written, and she was able to use that one essay for practically everything she applied for. So she dedicated herself to putting in the time to make that essay perfect. And then from there, it was easy because we just cut and pasted and pieced it together and rearranged however we needed to. So, that worked really well. So if you have a strong essay, a strong concept, you can do that with one essay and just really build it up. But it's going to take dedication and time and commitment, which that student had. But we were very successful with that essay particularly. So that's a piece of advice I have to you.
That is some really good advice. So I encourage you to take the advice from our scholarship essay coaches and don't be afraid to reach out to them for help. As I stated when we started our workshop, is that we've had scholarship essay coaches in Grand Prairie since the fall of 2018. And we know that having the scholarship essay coach is an additional bonus for our students that gives them personalized attention to help them craft that award-winning essay. And so if you need help with your essay, please contact the scholarship essay coach on your campus. They are more than willing and able to help you craft that essay. And I know they've mentioned it before. Please do not wait to the last minute because there are some great scholarship opportunities out there, and we want you to be able to take advantage of those opportunities. And we want to open it up for Q&A. So any of our participants have any questions they would like our scholarship coaches to answer on this evening?
Hi,
I would just like
my
to say that I've enjoyed all the information shared, and this is very valuable for the students. So thank you so much for your time and what you're investing into our students. Thank you.
Did someone else have a question? Thank you, Dr. Jackson. We appreciate your support of our essay coaches and all the student support services.
Yeah, I actually had a question. I'm a parent of a senior, and I heard someone saying that generally the essay that they were working with the student was like 3 to 5 pages. Is there a, I guess, kind of rule of thumb in terms of the number of pages that a personal essay should be in terms of like submitting it for a scholarship, or is it just kind of open to wherever the student feels comfortable with ending it? That makes sense.
A lot of essays a lot of prompts will give them word limits. I know for college admissions essays, the like ones my students are working on right now, the rule of thumb is about 500 words, which is about a page and a half. Because they do have so many essays to read, they like to kind of get in, get out. So brevity is certainly a good thing. I've seen some that are about 200 to 300 words. I'd say 1,000 is probably the most I've ever seen. So no more than 2 to 2.5 pages, I think would be plenty.
And when I mentioned that essay earlier, I don't know that she ever turned in the full essay to more than one scholarship. We cut that down a lot. And what I tell students, because they're always concerned with, how long do I make it, or they try and get the exact word count. That's another thing we see is if it's a 500 word essay, the student feels for some reason that they need to write exactly 500 words. And that's not the case. I tell students that you need to use as many words of that word limit as you need to communicate your ideas clearly and succinctly. You don't need to throw in a lot of extra fluff, extra language to, students are concerned with sounding smart or sounding intelligent. You don't need to add a lot of extra because that honestly sometimes bores the reader. Sometimes shorter essays are better. If you can communicate very clearly with fewer words, that's great.
Okay, and then the other question I had is, my senior, although she's been encouraged to do so, has not taken advantage of many volunteer opportunities. And I've been told that generally they like to see that, the readers. Is there anything else in terms of action on her part that she could take that would be somewhat impressive for like a scholarship essay or a personal essay that she's submitting outside of like volunteering? Or is it too late to start volunteering somewhere just so that she's able to include that on her essays?
Well, I would like to share something that my actual primary care physician told me. She did tutoring. When they're going through medical school or before they get to medical school, they have to do so many volunteer hours. And that's something that they definitely want to see. And so many did, maybe remember candy stripers at the hospital. So many did things in the medical field. But what my PCP did that was different was she literally just tutored reading, because that's what she loved doing. She absolutely loved to read, and she would go into schools and she would just do the reading, like the library time where she could do that, things that she had a passion for, and she stood out in that sense. She 100% stood out because it wasn't the normal. So whereas it comes to those volunteer hours, there are so many things that more than likely your child has not even realized that they were doing that are volunteer hours. And she needs to go back and look at, when you are babysitting without money, you are volunteering. That is volunteer childcare. Okay. When you are helping someone take care of a pet, that is volunteer pet sitting. There are so many things she's doing. And then there are other things I know they advertise. For example, there is a teacher store. It's usually in Euless or Bedford once a year. I think she has it where for maybe 2 or 3 days, teachers can come and get things for next to nothing. Well, she advertises for students who need volunteer hours. And so my son did that a couple times. He spent 8 hours there, and all he was doing was helping the people put things in their bags. There's so much that your baby is doing that she does not realize. So don't stress about it. Help people. Find something that is passionate to her and do it. And just like when we write our resumes, sometimes we have to figure out the correct rewording of it. She's got those volunteer hours. I cannot see a single teenager right now without volunteer hours. They are doing so much. They're office assistants. They're volunteering. That is volunteer time when they are office assistants. So just go back with her and actually just clock, like write it down. Maybe what did you do here? What did you do here? Do you remember when Miss such and such asked you to do this? Isn't that considered? Is she doing anything with her church like that? Those are all volunteer hours, and she'll be okay. She'll be okay. But make sure it's something she enjoys doing. If she sits down and says, I want to get these hours, please have fun doing it. That's what we suggest.
Okay. Thank you.
Are there any other questions? All right, well, if there are no other questions, we would like to thank everyone for your time on this evening. Thank you for coming out and being part of our Scholarship Essay Writing 101 workshop. If you think of any questions that you might have, you can always contact one of our Scholarship Essay coaches on the campus or visit the College and Career Center. Thank you and have a good evening. All right. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. All right.
Have a good evening.
You too. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.